Click.
Click.
It's that time. What time is it?
It's Curiosity Chill Time.
It's Axolotl chill time. How's it going, all my Axolotls? What are you doing? I see a Deviant Llama's back for 29 months, and I love to see it. And I gotta thank some of our awesome moderators who have been here since the dawn of time. I want to believe an MJ's Watson, both back for 34 months or 84 years, ready to get their study on. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Curiosity Chill, where we poll a subject each week and study it next week. And last week, you all chose Axolotls.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. So I have a question. Have you ever seen an axolotl in real life?
I have not seen an axolotl in real life. I have not been blessed enough to see one.
Well.
Yet.
I'm going to do a poll, and we'll get an official readout.
Okay.
You can type a 1 into the chat if you have seen an axolotl in real life. If you have never even heard of an axolotl before this, type a 2 in the chat. If you yourself are in fact an axolotl, please type a 3 into the chat with your cute little hands. And number 4, if you have a basic working knowledge of such axolotl, let me know, please. Thank you.
Deviant Badger, welcome back for 31 months.
Hey,
And
welcome
Pieces of Eden, thank you so much for that gift sub group hug.
Yo, gift sub group hug looks like this. Yeah. Oh, gonna need to update those.
Yeah.
Everybody, we are super grateful for you being here. I'm gonna make a little adjustment to our event list because you may have noticed we've made some updates to our streaming.
Wow, so
setup.
we have a lot of axolotls here with us right now. 42%.
42%. You know what they say? In any group of people, 42% of them are axolotl.
Wow.
No matter how many people you have.
And almost 21% have never even heard of an axolotl. Well, you, my friends, are in for a treat.
Well,
4.5 have seen one in real life.
You're about to get educated here, friends, because Axolotls coming to town. And Vices and Discos, thank you for these 3 gift subs. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for your generosity. Re3, thank you for the cheers. And Swim, welcome back for 10 months with a little heart.
Yeah.
Well, since 41% of you are Axolotl, please tell us everything about them. You have 2 axolotls.
Oh, wow.
Emily has 2 axolotls.
That's cool.
Thank you so much for being here. I should have put that on a poll because I do believe. How about this? Just type a 9 into the chat if you've got an axolotl like within the same building as you.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not in the same room, but if there's an axolotl in your home, apartment, whatever it is, one. Pieces of Eden's got one.
Wow.
And Ashtashi's got one. And Joanne, you've got one as well.
Pony has.
Okay.
Moon Shrooms has. Wow, a lot of people.
Elena used to. Well, look at you guys. We should start up a subgroup, maybe like an axolotl army, you know? Let's check it out. Let's get into this article here. I've got 2 articles that the moderators will share with with you. Look at this, you guys. You guys are going to love this. This is going to make you really happy as soon as I click this button. Be happy. Hey. So this is an axolotl. One of the best axolotl available. Ooh wee. Thank you, Unprovidence. Appreciate you.
Thank you, friend.
So this is a young axolotl. Might even be an old axolotl.
Yeah.
Let's find out together about the axolotl.
So the axolotl has a lifespan from 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Let me adjust this here a little bit.
Nice.
Love to see it. Okay, I'm gonna have to move these alerts real quick. Hang on, guys. I want you all to, guys being my gender neutral phrase, y'all. Y'all, here we is.
Hey, Fire Crystal, thank you for the cheers. And SNPR Serenity, Sniper Serenity, thank you so much for the cheers as well.
Thank you guys for cheering, Fire Crystal Art. Here we go. Let's go like this.
All right.
The lifespan, as you mentioned, 10 to 15 years. Does this music, does it get you hyped for axolotls?
Mm-hmm. The gestation period for one of these babies to be born is only 2 weeks.
But Amelia, what's the gestation period mean?
It means how long they develop before they're hatched.
Yeah, that's right. And so for humans, it's 9 months is our gestation period because, we big. They gestate in only 2 weeks. The number of young, there are 300 to 1,000 eggs. Whoa. Can you imagine having 999 siblings?
No.
That'd be like a lot to deal with on an emotional level. And at the age of maturity, which means that they are able to reproduce, 6 months. They will begin reproducing at 6 months. Holy yo.
Holy yo.
Holy yoly.
They are between 6 to 18 inches, which is 15 to 45 centimeters long, and they weigh about 2 to 8 ounces, which is 56 to 226 grams. So they have a pretty, they could be pretty big or pretty small.
I think what my wife's saying is that there's a nice range.
There's a nice range.
They could be pretty big and they could be pretty small. You need it? Well, 18 inches is a long boy. 18 inches is 1.5 feet long.
That must be one that's out in the wild, is my guess.
Or in like a really big tank. 6 inches is pretty small for,
All right.
axolotl.
Do you want to give the fun fact, Bri?
Do you guys mind if I give you the fun fact? The fun fact is that the word axolotl comes from the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs and means water dog. I like dogs. I like water dogs. Its mythological connection is to the axolotl. The axolotl. Without an A. I don't know how to say it without an A. Without a... Just Zlotl?
Zlotl,
Must be
maybe.
Zlotl.
Yeah.
The god of fire, lightning, deformities, and death.
Yo.
Damn.
Yeah.
Zlotl. God, that's a broad thing to be the god of.
Also, Mo4882, welcome back for 31 months.
Living that Baskin Robbins life.
It's been a long time since I've been to a Baskin Robbins.
And Jessica Hurst, thank you for subscribing for the first time with SEZZZZZZ. We appreciate you joining us, friends. We really enjoy these Curiosity Chills. They're some of our favorite streams, so we're glad you can make it.
Shrouded in mystery and defying typical biological laws like metamorphosis, the axolotl, pronounced axolotl, is a type of salamander. Keeps its webbed feet firmly placed in infancy throughout its life.
Infancy.
Okay.
We know that word.
Yeah. I was
So,
confused.
for those of you who are curious about, where's the camera? Why is it just microphone only? We're sipping on some coffee, and we've been awake for about 35 minutes. So that's what's going on here.
The Spanish word for axolotl is ojolote, but is used colloquially in Mexico to encompass all forms of salamander. It is also called the Mexican walking fish, though it is not a fish at all.
Not a fish at all.
Not a fish at all.
Much more like a salamander,
Yeah.
if you ask me, because it's an amphibian. But we're going to learn about the differences there. Here, where'd you leave off?
Right here, yeah.
Beautiful wife. Unlike other salamanders, axolotls are neotenic, meaning they keep juvenile characteristics into adulthood. I am neotenic. The axolotl remains aquatic, like larvae, for their entire life. Though it develops functional lungs, it uses its fancy feathery gills to breathe underwater. Like youngsters, they retain external gills, a tail, a body fin, and lack movable eyelids.
Wow.
Everybody say, "Stop staring at me, axolotl."
What you looking at, cutie?
Yeah, blink. You cannot beat an axolotl in a staring contest.
Though critically endangered in the wilderness, they are also taken as pets and live in laboratories around the world. naturally occurring in Lake Zo.
Should we ask the robot lady how to say this?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's ask a robot. This is the segment of the show where we ask a robot how to say a thing, and the robot tells us. We hope.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, why? So, hold on, say it louder, robot lady. We got a whole bunch of people here with us that need to know. Why are you muttering?
Why are you so quiet?
You don't have to mumble. Say it louder. Be proud. Xochimilco?
Xochimilco. Okay.
One more time.
Xochimilco.
Well.
All right.
That was anticlimactic, eh?
Naturally occurring.
Ooh,
that's loud. Naturally occurring in Lake Xochimilco and Lake Chalco in southern Mexico City, the neighborhood of Zomilco. These fascinating creatures are rarely seen in person, so they are only in these two places in Mexico. Descended from tiger salamander,
which are descendants of actual tigers.
Descended from the tiger salamander.
Okay.
The axolotl is young, having inhabited central Mexico for only about the last 10,000 years, according to some experts. Indigenous to these two spring-fed lakes along the southern edge of the basin of Mexico, much of its suitable habitat has been drained.
Draining the habitat of the axolotl?
Mm-hmm. The Cholamico, how did we pronounce it again?
Oh, the robot lady left.
Okay.
In the
basin, once about 77 square miles, which is 200 square kilometers, of marshes, swamps, and lagoons. These were significantly reduced 85 years ago when drainage projects were completed.
Oh, man. Water dogs be getting water drained.
Yeah.
The axolotl is charismatic and steeped in Mexican history, culture, and identity. So, are we going to read these side things too,
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
Well, the axolotl retains larval characteristics into adulthood. It can be prompted into metamorphosis in a laboratory setting with the injection of hormones.
Whoa.
The axolotl is part of a group of mole salamanders, which include its closest relative, the tiger salamander, and the more distant relative, the spotted salamander. So I think we'll see some pictures of those two real quick, eh?
Yeah.
Y'all want to see a tiger salamander? I do. Tiger salamander. We'll decide who he's more closely related to. Here. Tiger salamander says.
Oh, wow.
Look at me, says tiger salamander.
That's pretty cute.
Look at this guy.
He doesn't have the gills. And he doesn't look like he's definitely on land, which is the biggest difference between the tiger salamander and the axolotl, because the axolotl does not come on land.
Yeah, he's cute. He's chunky headed though. Look at this guy's vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And Weeping Angel 13, welcome back for 8 months. Appreciate you. And Freda, welcome back for 33 months. Thank you so much for your support. Another original on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Smart Zombie, thanks for 4 months of support. All right, who's the other one we were gonna look up? What's the other guy? Oh,
this is the other. There.
We're gonna look up the
spotted salamander.
All right, spotted salamander. Let's yield copy paste. Yield paste, yield enter, and yield spotted boy.
Oh, he's cute too.
He's cute.
Very spotted.
He looks like someone used a hole punch right above him, and he got little
dots,
little sprinkles.
I wonder if they're poisonous.
Are you poisonous?
I don't know. People are holding him, so probably not.
Poisonous? Well, let's see if he's poisonous. They're not dangerous to humans, y'all. They're shy and cryptic animals, completely harmless if they're not handled or touched. They have absorbent skin, and oils and salts from human hands can cause them serious harm.
Oh, okay. So do
don't-
not touch a
More
salamander.
like we're poisonous to them.
Yeah.
Aw.
Honey.
Funny guy. Blip. All right. That said, little information exists about the ecology of axolotl populations, my love. Could you read what is known?
This situation is surprising given the popularity of the axolotl for scientific study. However, their small and generally inaccessible populations make it difficult to obtain information about their behavior. What is known about axolotls has been obtained from laboratory colonies.
Hey. And Dana Louise, thank you for the cheers. I'm glad your Play the Positive hoodie just arrived. You guys can check out ! merch in the chat if you want to see what's going on with that. And Unprovidence is hyped for axolotls with that gift, saying the fun facts are the most important curiosity chill things. I think you're right.
I think you're right, too.
They have salamander superpowers?
Whoa.
Hold on. Axolotls are dark colored and can shift their hue a few shades lighter or darker as needed for camouflage. Pink and light-colored axolotls are bred by humans as pets for their pleasing shades.
So they're not naturally occurring.
They are, in the nature, going to be a little bit more like this boy here.
Yeah.
This one. And these are selectively bred, and they look almost like albino version of this one. You swear they're little magical creatures? I think you're right, Singer.
They are
I think
magical.
you're totally right. Vices and Discos, thank you for the gift sub to IDK Ria and Picasso. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. And Jessica Hurst saying that they've adopted 2 axolotls. Abe is the youngest, lost his feet.
Oh,
And
honey.
Bucky sometimes loses his gills.
Oh, honey bears.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to learn about the regenerative properties of these axolotl because that is very fascinating to me. So these are their salamander superpowers, Jessica, and I think this may give you good omens. Axolotls that can shift their shades and they can have a bit of a camouflage, and they are also used in laboratories to study another superpower, regenerating their limbs, lungs, heart, jaws, spines, and even parts of their brain.
Wow. What? Wait, hold. They can regenerate their limbs, lungs, heart, jaws, spines, and even parts of their brain. That's amazing.
They're basically Deadpool. Eden, I think you're onto something here. Scientists have found that axolotls can regrow a new limb 5 times perfectly in a few weeks without even a scar. Very unusual. Okay, but they say specifically 5 times. Every time the tissue is replaced, skin, bone, cartilage, muscle, and stem cells. Other organs can regenerate countless times and be completely functional.
Wow.
Naturally, scientists would like to harness that ability and apply it in human medicine. It is said that this axolotl... Wow, look at him!
Wow.
It is said that axolotls are over 1,000 times more resistant to cancer than mammals, another superpower worth investigating.
Wow.
And you can see in this photo, they have distinct feathery gills.
Yeah.
He looks so fancy.
So fancy.
How you get so fancy, axolotl?
I love him.
Baby face.
Baby face, you've got the cutest little baby face. An axolotl can reach 18 inches in length, but nowadays grows to about 9 inches. Axolotls are dark colors with greenish mottling. Some may have silvery highlights on the skin. It has a broad, flat body with a large head donning its signature feathery gills, waving gently in the water.
Aww.
Its mouth is often bent into a slight grin or is otherwise expressive.
It's true.
Yeah. Round, dark eyes with yellow iridescent irises take in the murky environment. It has lizard-like limbs that carry it along the lake bottom. It weighs about as much as a can of soup. In a pinch, the axolotl can move an astonishing 10 miles per hour, which is a 15 kilometers per hour.
Wow. That's a fast axolotl for being so small. And Margin, I have to say that if Attenborough ever retires, I would love to fill in sometime. You should check in the Munchie K. Thank you for being here for 2 months. Appreciate you very much. Amelia and I like to do a bit of an Attenborough impression from time to time. Axolotls in the animal kingdom. Habitat and diet. Before we read it, anybody want to guess what this guy eats? If you were an axolotl, what do you think you would eat?
Probably like little things.
Probably like little things. It's really sweet how you said that so small. Worms, planktons, leaves?
Algae,
Anything?
yeah. I was thinking maybe algae.
Eats pizza. This guy definitely eats pizza. All right, let's see about what he eats. Cotton candy? You'd eat bugs? Beaver nuggets? All right, habitat and diet. Lake view. The axolotl is lentic, meaning it inhabits still water lakes. They occur in only two, Mexico's Lake Zimaquillo and Lake Calco, where they are critically endangered due to pollution, habitat degradation, like literally draining where they live, and water diversion from an ever-growing human population. Thanks, humans. Conservationists are trying to help the axolotl by building shelters in the lake with stacks of rocks and reedy plants that help filter clean water that is pumped in. It is hoped that these amazing creatures will breed and thrive.
A day in the life. Despite their infantile charm and undeveloped teeth, axolotls are effective predators, inhaling worms, mollusks. There we go, I got it. Crustaceans.
Yo, let's see some crabs.
Insect larvae, and even small fish.
Ooh.
During the day, they burrow into the aquatic vegetation and mud to avoid being eaten themselves. And at night, they become animated and hungry. While they use their gills to breathe underwater, they may pop up to the surface for a quick gulp of air from time to time.
Aww. So you guys got it right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of you guessed the right things. In their diet, feeding them in human care is another matter. Do the axolotls benefit from a varied diet or eating the same thing day after day? One recent study compared 3 different diets. Bloodworm, invariant. Daphnia, a small aquatic crustacean, which is, yes, in the family of crabs. There they are, flowing very profusely through the chats. And a mixture of these 2 prey items. The juvenile axolotls grew fastest on the bloodworm diet and slowest on the Daphnia diet, with a mixed diet resulting in intermediate growth rates. Thus, a mixed diet, as humans might prefer, may not be beneficial to the growth or welfare of axolotls as compared with a proper, high-quality, invariant diet. So those of you who answered the poll at the beginning of the stream that they themselves are axolotl, do you find that you like to eat the same meal over and over and over and over and over again with your tiny little face?
Hoover dining.
Hoover dining?
Using a suction technique, the axolotl consumes worms, tadpoles, insects, and small fish. Gravel may also get inhaled, which helps grind up its food in its belly, just like birds use grit to break down food for digestion.
Oh! So these boys eating up some gravel too.
Yep.
Tasty gravel. Stay safe, you axolotl. The axolotl has few predators in the wilderness. though they may be taken by storks and herons, as well as large fish like carp and tilapia on occasion. Their biggest threat is urbanization and the pollution of the freshwater lakes and ponds they inhabit. Predation from introduced fish and large birds, as well as over-collecting them for food and medicine, also contributes to their persistent decline. Fire Crystal Art, thank you for the gift subs. And Pieces of Eden, thank you for the 5 gift sub group hug. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Petra Deviant, we're doing well. How's everybody doing today? Let's get a little check-in with everybody while we learn about these axolotls. What's your vibe?
Triceratops is a pretty awesome pun.
What's that?
This chat sure is curious. They axolotl questions.
Hey, Triceratops. That's actually very, 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 very clever, and I like your style. I like an original pun, you know? Like, that was clearly crafted in the moment.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have an axolotl pun, like, in their back pocket, ready to go.
Let me tell you about the family life of these here axolotls.
All right, I'm glad you guys are loving the facts, and I see some good vibes in the chat. Let's learn about the family life.
Waltz with me. Axolotls reach sexual maturity by 6 months of age, followed by a breeding season between March and June, when temperatures and levels are more temperate. So
Wait. I just want to point out, right now it's axolotl breeding season, y'all.
Yeah, it is. It's like right at the peak.
Right now, axolotl are breeding.
They're waltzing with each other.
They're waltzing.
A waltz between a male and a female initiates mating. They rub and slide against the other's cloaca while twirling in a circular fashion. After about 30 seconds of vigorous tail waving, the male drops a cone-shaped mass with a sperm cap.
Well, damn, there's a real pleasant dance. They dance. They waltz together, and then he's like, here, have this.
Here's a little cone. The female collects the cone with her cloaca after her own tail-shaking display, and the fertilization of her 300 to 1,000 eggs begins.
Whoa.
She lays her eggs individually, placed on plants or rocks to avoid predators. 2 weeks later, the eggs hatch and the youngsters are off and running. Well, they're swimming. There is no parental care, so they figure it out as they go.
Wow. Aww. Okay, yo, poll in the chat. Anybody want to watch this axolotl mating dance? Because I'm really curious as to what's going on here. Nadia W77, thank you for being here for 8 months. And Unprovidence, thanks for the gift sub to Cheese Wheel. Yes, you're down? All right, let's do it. Parental discretion is advised. This is a mature viewing channel. Y'all had to click a button that says you could handle this. Axolotl mating dance. Here's the link. I'm going to share it with the mods in case any of you need to, post this all over the internet or something. And then maybe reframe it so we can see the young axolotl mating dance. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Here we go. Dance for me. So far, so good. Some good dancing. Sweet moves, sweet moves.
Oh.
So on it goes. Kind of. I mean, that's true romance right there. You can really sense the chemistry.
Yeah.
Again and again.
They keep dancing.
Look at those crazy gills. Those feathered gills to me are just so cool. Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. After a year of so much social distancing, this is This is pretty intense.
I know.
What a gentleman. Mineral Pigeon, thank you for being here for 10 months as the Axolotl do mate. And Vivanco, glad to have you resubscribed as well. Oh, a very happy couple.
So she's much bigger than he is.
She could, yeah, she looks twice as big as him.
Yeah.
And Snowy Coco, welcome back for 21 months. The end. Aw. Jersey Fierce. Back for 17 months at just the right moment. Axolotl, thank you for being here, Jersey. Appreciate your support. So she collects the cone, and on we go to have 300 to 1,000 eggs.
Wow.
Whoa. Tell me about it at the zoo, Amelia, before we learn about the beloved amphibian.
The Axolotl will now be will be part of the new Sanford Children's Zoo opening in 2021 at the San Diego Zoo.
As you might have guessed, this website we're looking at is the San Diego Zoo website. So I'm sure you could find an axolotl closer to you if you don't live in San Diego. Conservation. Axolotls, we've learned, live in these 2 freshwater lakes, and to staunch the drop in their numbers, conservationists are trying to help the axolotl by building these shelters we read about, where they're trying to filter the water with reeds and rocks to give them a habitat.
Yeah.
And well, that's kind of the end of that article. Here's a bunch
Yeah.
of other animals, which are awesome, but not on today's stream. Today, we're learning about the axolotl.
So this is another article from the Scientific American, and this is an article called "Biology's Beloved Amphibian, the Axolotl, is Racing Towards Extinction. Although abundant in captivity, the salamander has nearly disappeared from its natural habitat, and that is a problem."
Oh, man. Cute, though.
Cute, though.
Real cute.
When biologist Luis Zambrano began his career in the late 1990s, he pictured himself working miles from civilization, maybe discovering new species in some hidden corners of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Instead, in 2003, he found himself counting amphibians in the polluted, murky canals of Mexico City's Xochimilco district. The job had its advantages. He was working minutes from his home and studying the axolotl, a national icon in Mexico and arguably the world's most recognizable salamander. But in that first year, Zambrano couldn't wait for it to be over. Why?
Why?
Let me tell you, I hated the project from the beginning, he says. For one thing, I couldn't catch anything. Over time, however, he did catch some axolotls. What he found surprised him and changed the course of his career. In 1998, the first robust study to count axolotls estimated that there were about 6,000 of them per square kilometer in Xochimilco. Man, I forgot how to say it. Xochimilco.
In the lake.
In the lake. Zambrano, who is now a professor at the National Autonomous Xochimilco. Okay, thank you, Aya. Xochimilco, who is now a professor at the National Autonomous University of Mexico in Mexico City, discovered in 2000 that the number had dropped to about 1,000 animals per square kilometer. By 2008, it was down to 100. No! Today, thanks to the pollution and invasive predators, there are fewer than 35 animals per square kilometer. And this was in 2017.
Oh,
so
no.
This might not be good. Oh, you study there? That's really cool.
You study there. All right. Xochimilco.
Okay.
Xochimilco? Are we saying it close to correct? Oh, man. This is rough. This is rough news for these guys. I got some bad news. You guys are not going to like this next paragraph.
Oh, no.
The axolotl is on the brink of annihilation in the canals of Mexico City, its only natural habitat, And although there might be a few hundred individuals left in the wild, tens of thousands could be found in home aquariums and research laboratories around the world. They are bred so widely in captivity that certain restaurants in Japan even serve them up deep fried.
What?
God damn! God damn! No. Yeah.
Ugh.
The axolotl is a complete conservation paradox, says Richard Griffiths, an ecologist at the University of Kent at Canterbury, UK, who recruited Zambrano to the project because it's probably the most widely distributed amphibian around the world in pet shops and labs, and yet it's almost extinct in the wild. This creates a problem for biologists. Thanks to the unique physiology and remarkable ability to regenerate severed limbs, the axolotl has become an important lab model for everything from tissue repair to development and cancer. And after centuries of inbreeding, captive populations are vulnerable to disease. And the loss of genetic diversity in wild axolotls and in the royal family, owing to their diminishing populations, meaning that scientists lose out on learning all they can about the animal's biology.
Oh no. As lab scientists continue to study the captive animal and its large and complex genome, Zambrano and a handful of other researchers are doing their best to preserve the wild version. They are breeding and releasing axolotls into control ponds and canals around Zocomilo to see how they fare and hopefully retain some of their natural genetic diversity. The task of saving them is difficult, but should be doable given the animal's hardiness if the Mexican government would only engage with the process.
How do we influence the Mexican government to engage with this process? Because if there's anyone who's going to defend the axolotl, it is the group of people who are here now on this Curiosity Chill, which, by the way, in about 15 minutes, we're going to have to all decide what we study next week on... the week after.
Yes.
The week after. We will be taking a short hiatus on Curiosity Chill next week and join again the week following on account of un special project.
Yes.
Right?
On the 4th. May 4th.
On the 4th. May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Oh, yeah. On May the 4th, which is definitely a Star Wars day, so maybe we should do something Star Wars related. Just saying, just throwing it out there. And we got a special prize for that May the 4th stream, which is a copy of Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, XO is pronounced like so. Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you for your help, friends.
Yeah.
All right. The creature that never grew up. Bryan Dechart never grew up because he spent... Axolotl evolved relatively recently compared to other salamander species in the region, and they thrived along the banks of Lake Texcoco in the mountains of central Mexico. They are neotenic, meaning that the adults retain traits seen only in juveniles of similar species. Although the salamanders metamorphose into terrestrial creatures, axolotls hold up their feathery gills and stay in the water for their entire lives. It's as if they never grew up. Sometime in the 13th century, Lake Texcoco was settled by the Mexicana, the people that Europeans dubbed Aztecs. They built a powerful empire controlled by an island city built in the middle of the lake. As the empire grew, so did the land, expanding much faster after the Spanish conquest of 1521. Today, all that remains of the axolotl's habitat are about 170 kilometers of canals crisscrossing where'd it go? You'd think I'd learn it by now.
It's tricky to...
Crisscrossing in the lake area, a district in the southern part of Mexico City. The species might have perished entirely under colonial rule, except that its odd inability to grow up caught the attention of European scientists who puzzled over it in the late 19th century.
Visitors to Mexico brought the creatures back and began breeding them. The animal turned out to be ideal for research. It reproduces rapidly in the lab, is a hardy survivor, and is easy to care for. Axolotls have large cells that simplify investigations into development. Their eggs are almost 30 times larger than humans, and in an axolotl embryo, the neural plate cells, a precursor to the brain and spinal cord, are almost 600 times larger by volume. Also, the pigmentation of axolotls varies greatly from one cell to the next, unlike in humans or other animals, in which cell traits tend to be uniform. This can help researchers to track which tissues in an embryo become which organs. Yet it has a large genome, roughly 10 times the size of a human's, which make it challenging to study in some respects.
It is not a good genetic model organism, but it does regenerate, and that makes it an awesome biological model, says David Gagne, a developmental biologist at the University of California, Irvine, who has studied axolotl regeneration for decades. In the early 20th century, axolotl were central to understanding how organs develop and function in vertebrates, not in an invertebrate, which means it doesn't have a spine. These guys definitely have a spine. They helped scientists to unpick the cause of spina bifida in humans, a birth defect in which the spine doesn't form properly. And they played a part in the discovery of thyroid hormones. In the 1920s, scientists fed thyroid tissue from livestock to axolotls. And the axolotls were like, what the fuck is this? If the tissue had been secreting hormone, the axolotls would metamorphose, losing their gills and shedding their larval skin. Now, a little bit like a ditto. In the 1980s, axolotls helped scientists to develop a model explaining how cells take on different forms in embryos. The cell state splitter model proposed that many stem cells turn into specific tissues in the specific tissues in the body, you guys, not bottle, through waves of pulling and stretching as embryos. Scientists found that they can watch the axolotl cells squeeze and stretch before they form tissues. More importantly, in 2011, extracted from axolotl oocytes, y'all, these words though.
I know.
Oocytes? Axolotl oocytes? Has been used to stop breast cancer cells from multiplying by switching on a tumor suppressor gene.
Wow.
Oocytes. Maybe. I'll take your word for it. But perhaps the most fascinating contribution of the axolotl to science has been in regenerative medicine. The animal can grow back missing limbs, tails, organs, parts of the eye, and even portions of the brain. Many scientists have presumed this is because, being neotenic, they retain some trait from their embryonic stages, although other salamanders seem to regenerate even as adults.
Biologists have been trying to identify the mechanisms behind their regenerative abilities for decades, says Tatiana Sandoval Guzman, a regeneration researcher at the Technical University of Dresden, Germany. How do they do it? What is it they have that we don't? Or maybe the opposite. What in mammals is stopping that? Sandoval Guzman is interested in bone and muscle regeneration and has taken over a long-standing axolotl laboratory in Dresden. a Mexican national who went to school not so far from Xochimilco, says she never thought much about the animal and certainly never considered studying it until she came to Germany. But today, she is fascinated by the creature and has shown that many of the mechanisms in axolotl regeneration, such as those involving muscle tissue stem cells, are not so different from those she found in humans.
Whoa!
This is a long article.
This article will go on and on, but the moderators do have it. This is the link on scientificamerican.com/article about biology's beloved amphibian. You can check it out in the link. This young friend, we have learned a lot about axolotls. An axolotl question is here.
Hey!
What's up? Objectively the best stream ever. We agree.
Hey, Jessica Louise, welcome back for 27 months. And oh me, thank you for the cheers.
Hey.
So friends, pop quiz time. Tell us something that you learned today about the axolotl.
That's right. That's the way the pop quiz works. All you have to do is say one thing you learned about axolotl facts of axolotl. What do you know now that you didn't know before?
They can regenerate their limbs. We need to protect them. Yes, they are very endangered.
Oh, tadpoles out there saying they eat tadpoles. It's true, but not all tadpoles. Even friendly tadpoles can be friends with axolotls.
They're also called a water dog.
Yeah, their name means water dog.
They don't grow up. They can regenerate their body. They dance with their mate.
Yeah, the waltz of the axolotl.
Their eggs are 30 times larger than human eggs. They are not fish. They inhale rocks and they're Hoover feeders.
Brian may or may not be one. Yo, I'm glad you guys learned some things about this. Yeah, they inhale rocks to help with their digestion. Mm-hmm. They have sperm cones. Yep. You must protect them from humans. They can lay 300 to 1,000 eggs at a time.
They are genetically colored pink and white in captivity to make them more appealing.
Selectively bred, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and in the wild, they have this darker hue. Let's see. But they can adjust their own coloration as to blend in like camouflage with their environment. That was something I've learned and didn't know before.
They're related to the tiger salamanders.
Yes, and the spotted salamander. Mm-hmm. They are too cute, and they are tiny babes.
They have superpowers. They do.
They do have superpowers.
They waltz together.
And I learned that they are more common in captivity than they are in the wild. That they're nearly extinct in their natural habitat.
I learned that they only occur naturally in 2 fresh stillwater lakes in Mexico, right outside Mexico City. So those are the only 2 places where they occur in the wild.
Well, thank you all for protecting these axolotls. And Singer, thank you for the gift sub to Axolotl Questions.
Aw, thanks.
And Unprovidence, thank you very much for this gift. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream.